Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhoads on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show. Take it away, you two.
And we're live for the 200th time on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show.
Yes. So, 200 episodes ago, it was about 4 days before we did our first episode on it was a Saturday night. We just gotten some new equipment, and we were like, because Jim has another podcast that's Tote the Note, which is kind of like the 60 minutes of Buy Here Pay Here. It's really in-depth topics. And so we're playing on them, enjoying the headphones. And I said, you know what we should do? We should start a morning show. And so on Sunday morning, got up, made the artwork, and we went live on that coming Wednesday. So
that would have been May 11th, would have been our first episode. And then on June 1st, with the suggestion from Tommy Brandis, we started White Hat Wednesday. He was our first guest on White Hat Wednesday last year. So yeah, this is, I counted our 66th White Hat Wednesday episode. So it's a perfect time to make some announcements about the future of White Hat Way.
Yeah.
So it's like today is we've got a couple special guests standing by. We've got some fun videos queued up from some of our friends in the industry who sent in a little, congratulatory
I don't know if y'all
message.
remember the 100th episode. We had like a ton of people just kind of coming in and and trying to filter people through, and then we lost the broadcast, and then we had to go back on and bring more people on. Well, we decided to do a little bit different this time so that we wouldn't have that that challenge, that friction. So we, asked a few of our friends to if you want to go ahead and send something in. So we'll share those with you.
That was fun, our 100th, and today's going to be fun too in a different way. We've just got something really significant. Like I keep calling it dominoes. Like we've got some dominoes that are starting to fall on something that we've been working on. We created a vision. We started to create an identity around that vision, and the vision continues to grow. And the opportunity to have an impact on this industry continues to grow. And so today is about just, introducing some of the folks who are joining us as founding sponsors in White Hat Way. And so we're going to let them tell you why they chose.
Real quick before we go, those of you who have been watching as we have been creating this, I call it an ecosystem, and it's really just, we've redesigned how everything kind of connects. And so White Hat Way is incorporated, and everything is under the corporate brim of White Hat Way. The podcast, Buy Here Pay Here Nation Television, the Institute, the coaching, all of that. We'll be launching new name for coaching. It'll be White Hat Coaching. So everything is if it's an ecosystem, the nucleus is White Hat Way. That is the core founding fundamental principle and purpose of everything that we have created.
And those of you who have seen us speak, you've probably seen us roll out a little short video from Simon Sinek. It kind of swept the web some time ago, and we kind of found a condensed version where he talks about the golden circle. You can look up Simon Sinek, S-I-N-E-K, and look up the golden circle. And he talks about making, your company's core its purpose. And I think we've always had that, but we just didn't really articulate it well, and we didn't get clear about it. And so that's what has started to happen. And I think, with our founding sponsors joining us, what that does is it just, first of all, it sort of helps you and I say, hey, people see it. They get the mission, right? They see the vision. So I should warn our listeners, today's a big day for us. And so I'll apologize in advance for the emotion. My emotions run pretty close to the surface, and this is a big, important day for us.
It absolutely is. And it's kind of, it's a big, important day for us. We, our two guests today, as we've been working to build this, that we realized that we needed help. And so we reached out to a couple of colleagues and asked them if they would be willing to step in and help.
Yeah.
And it was really heartwarming to us because it was like, yeah, okay, well, let's do this.
And this
kind of
is a
thing.
heart matter. At the end of the day, it's a heart matter, and it's something that's bigger than all of us. And so, we're excited to have people joining us in that. It allows us to, as I've been describing, some first dominoes to fall, and in the way that we'll move forward. And so, this is just exciting day. You want to bring in
I absolutely do.
Mr.
So,
Tim
Mr.
Byrd.
Tim Byrd. Those of you who, if you know DealerRE, you know Tim. If you know Tim, you know DealerRE.
What you don't know about Tim is he's traveling, and he's coming to us from the Cracker Barrel parking lot.
You gave away my secret.
Oh no! Oh, so that's part of the fun of this whole virtual live podcasting is we just get to come find you wherever you are.
Yeah.
And so we're thrilled to have you here, Tim, from wherever you sit.
And Tim is Cracker Barrel parking lot. Tim is RVing right now, and so we're like blood brother sister kind of thing in RVing world because we've done that and have a lot of love for that. So he's traveling. And then our other guest today is Tim Lawrence, and if you guys know LHPH Capital, you know Tim Lawrence as well.
Yeah. And so what I can say about the two gentlemen on the screen is,
Tim and Tim.
Yeah, Tim and Tim. Well, Tim squared today. We just see a lot of great things out of them, and reputation is impeccable with these companies across the industry. And so, it made sense for us to approach them and ask them to join. And I might ask Mr. Tim Lawrence. I can share that, we paid a visit to San Diego recently. That was largely about firming up the understanding around this White Hat founding sponsorship. And so that's what Tim Lawrence and Tim Byrd are here to talk about, is they've agreed to join us as you're removing.
No, go ahead, because they aren't running.
So, but bottom line is we need to, acknowledge that they're joining us as founding sponsors. And so our visit to San Diego was an opportunity to get to know Tim at a different level, and to get to know the team, and make sure that everybody's clear on what it is that we're embarking on. And so, Tim, you might just share, a little bit about your decision, what you understand White Hat Way to be, and kind of your company's decision to participate.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me on for the 200th episode, and it was really neat to be on the 100th episode too.
Yeah,
so really appreciate that. It was nice to have you guys in San Diego. And for those listeners who don't know, to be a founding sponsor, they put you through this rigorous physical obstacle course.
Yeah, that's right.
So our whole office had hurdles and walls to climb and mud pits.
It's a Navy SEAL thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made it. So
yeah, good for you. And they're here.
Yeah.
So for White Hat Way, you might just talk about what White Hat Way means. We've talked enough about, kind of why we chose the White Hat Cowboy. And so you might just speak to that part.
Yeah, for us, just in general, being in the space, character is always a big deal. And it's not just the character of the borrower, the dealerships that we work with. It's really the culture in their organization. And that's where we really resonate with the White Hat Way, is having the culture that treats every customer and every employee, every stakeholder in your organization as really having worth and value, just the same as everybody else, is really meaningful. And for those who have that credit struggle, it just can feel awful.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing better than going to a place where you feel welcome, you feel just like everybody else, and that you're a part of the family or team. Yeah. And because the White Hat Way really symbolizes that, that high ethics, that high standard, then we want to get behind it.
Good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we're working all the time to make that identity clearer. Like, what is it exactly that we're talking about? And obviously with our White Hat Wednesday, we try to showcase dealers who are operating in that way, using principles in their business. And there are a lot of them. Sometimes we talk about this. It sometimes sounds like, that it doesn't exist, but we meet lots of dealers who are functioning that way. We're just trying to shine a spotlight on what they do. And Tim Byrd, I might get your answer to the same thing, like your perception of the White Hat Cowboy and what we're doing with White Hat Way.
Yes. Well, again, congratulations on your
Thank you.
episode. White Hat Way to me means dealers of integrity.
Okay.
And those that support them are vendors of integrity, people who support dealers who are trying to do things the right way.
Yeah.
That don't, that are the exact opposite of the reputation that used car dealers tend to have, of taking advantage. That we show that we are, as dealers, dealers of integrity, that we are going to go above and beyond and love our customer.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that, and one of the reasons that DealerRE's been around for 30 years is because you have to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And you have to treat people with love and respect, so that they are not trapped out there in a situation they can't get out of because of something that we've done. And that's the kind of things that end up in a bad light. We don't want that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think it does speak to the part that we're, really referring to. And we created a list some time ago, and we can stream it later in the broadcast. We prepared a list of the things that we kind of think of as buzzwords, if you will, for White Hat Way. And we roll that often on a White Hat Wednesday across the stream and across the screen. And I think what I recently recognized is we have to add a word to that list, and that's honor. That's being honorable, right? So we talk about integrity and character, and I think honor belongs in there because it really is something that you're going to hear us talk about a lot going forward in White Hat Wednesday, is talking about what does that look like? Like what is, and so it's not our answer. We want to invite folks like you to come to the microphones and share what does honor look like. And so, Tim Lawrence, for you, when you talk about that culture, and obviously there's integrity and character wrapped up in all that, what's your view of why that stuff even matters?
I think it matters because when we're building trust in our organization, it's actually a really hard thing to do, because it's easy to say you're going to do what you say you're going to do, but the deliverance of that isn't just hard. There's going to be mistakes that come along the way, and being able to step up into those mistakes and recognize, hey, we failed in this area, and here's how we're going to make it right. And we all make these mistakes, not just in our personal lives, but in our professional lives too.
Sure.
And the more that we can recognize, be humble, and accept responsibility, it really casts that positive shadow across your organization and models to your team members, and then also to the customers that you're serving, because we are serving those customers, and I think that can be forgotten.
Good point. Yeah. So Tim, Byrd, before you respond to that, I would just say that we're working to try to create, because all those things you're talking about, trust is easy to lose, right? And so I think when people in an organization, team, dealership, when they can develop some level of trust, that's easier maintained. I think when everybody's clear about the vision, we all understand our purpose, we all remain aligned on the purpose. And so when we can stay anchored over there, it's easier to maintain that level of trust. And we might make a mistake here and there, we might take steps sideways occasionally, but when we're all clear about the vision, and that's what I think you can see that Michelle and I are trying to lead the identity, get clear about that identity, that what is White Hat Way? What can it mean? So Tim, Byrd, your thoughts on that?
Well, just the name White Hat Way, if, I'm a lover of cowboy movies, and, this boils down to the guy in the white hat was the good guy, right? And so I think it's important that in our industry that we are able to identify that customers that go around can identify, hey, these people here, this store is one that has earned the right to have the White Hat Way on their wall or in their advertising and that kind of thing, so that people can understand and appreciate these are people that have been identified as people of integrity.
Right.
I love that you very artfully that this is where we're going with this, that it's kind of like the good guy seal of approval that we're working on building for dealers and vendors alike.
Yeah.
And so it's like these are companies, these are dealers that you can go in and you're going to be respected and listened to, and that they're going to try to help.
And we also see that dealers struggle often to tell their own stories. They may be those good guys you're talking about, Tim Byrd. It's just that they don't often know how to share that in an authentic way in their community. And so part of what we're doing on the branding and marketing side is helping them kind of we'll go out in front of them and tell some of that story and invite people to get to know this dealer. So that's part of what White Hat Way as a brand, is expected to represent. So again, your support helps us to further that mission. So we're grateful. And I would just share that, the financial details don't need to be disclosed, but these companies both stepped into a 3-year commitment to support the effort that is White Hat Way. We're playing a very long game over here. And so we're grateful to have that pledge of support. Tim Lawrence, I know you have to step away. You've got school responsibilities, I think. So it's part of being a dad, right? So,
yeah.
And
that's right. Today's my day.
Yeah,
my day to drop off kids.
There you go. Beautiful. Well, we're glad you could join for a bit. Before you step out, I'd like to show a couple of videos that people sent in. We've got a number of little short videos that folks sent in as just a message of support.
You all know who this is, but this is our current executive director of
president.
Jim and Michelle, my goodness. And they said it wouldn't last. The podcast, I mean. 200 episodes. That's a heck of a thing. In dog episodes, that's 1,400, by the way. So you should take all the credit you possibly can. Hey, listen, congratulations. That's a tremendous accomplishment. I'm looking forward to number 201 and plenty thereafter. It's just like the old hubcap of life up here. You keep on rolling along and do good things. And we really, really appreciate all the wonderful things you guys do for our industry. All the best to you.
Gordy's got his own video production crew.
I know,
there,
right?
so,
There's it's not a FaceTime.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Scan up.
So we got a couple more. Do you want to show a few more of those?
Let's do.
You'll recognize this gentleman.
Yes.
Hey, Jim and Michelle. This is Jimmy Rambo, Spartan Financial. Congratulations on 200 shows. I'm a proud supporter of the White Hat Way, and we appreciate all you're doing for our industry. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy and Gordy. Maybe just one more.
Okay, so let's do this one.
Hey, good morning, Jim and Michelle. Just want to send you a quick thank you video for all the intelligent commentary and the wonderful topics on the Buy Here, Pay Here Morning Show. You guys are definitely enhancing the environment that we operate and trying to move forward and fix some things and putting in the effort and the time to definitely create value for yourselves in the industry. And just want to say thank you for that. And also a big congratulations on the 200th episode of the Buy Here, Pay Here Morning Show. I'm definitely a listener and a learner. So thank you guys so much for all you've done, and looking forward to 200 more. Thank you very much.
Wearing a white cap.
Yeah, and that guy's got a voice for podcasting. He's better in my chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got some more. We've got the other dealers that have sent in some stuff and other vendors, and so we'll share a few of those. But we know we need to turn you loose soon, Tim Lawrence. So it was an opportunity for us to express our gratitude for your joining us. And Michelle and I talk often about this concept of being greater than the sum of your parts. And that's what we see here.
Absolutely. With this, the people that are on the screen right now, and that there is so much that we're going to be able to accomplish that is greater than the sum of our parts. So
look at George Spat being clever this morning.
As a lone arranger.
Right. Clever. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So yeah, that's all good stuff. So yeah, I think Tim, if you need to step out, certainly do that, and there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to join us on the podcast again as we kind of move the white hat banner forward. And so again, thank you for your support of that.
All right. Excellent. Let's, if you don't mind, like to show a couple of more videos, Tim, and then we've got some other things that we'd like to chat about. Here's one of our friends.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Michelle. It's Karen with SDA. Thank you so much for what you bring to the buy here, pay here industry. I wanted to say congratulations on your 200th episode. Thank you so much for that time and commitment and what you do to help others in this wonderful industry of ours. I hope to see you soon at the next convention. Talk to you later.
And it's a wonderful industry. It's an important industry, Tim Byrd. It's like there's a lot of good that happens here. Like there's a lot of folks who get help that can't find help elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's the truth. And the thing is that that's the business that we're in, is helping others.
Right.
Now, do we make a living doing it? Absolutely. But
Sure.
the thing is that it's a blessing to us to be able to provide people transportation when they may not otherwise be able to.
Right.
And so that's what Buy Here, Pay Here is all about.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that DealerRE does what they do.
Sure.
Because, I want you to think about the concept of being able to just take a little bit of each customer, a little bit of money from each customer and putting it in a pot so that we know when the cars break down that they're taken care of. And I mean, we're all in the payment producing business. Now we talk about the car business, but we're in the payment producing business.
Mhm.
And the things that cause these vehicles to break down, and then, the black hat way would be to punish people whose cars break down, because, we have to understand that cars are made in America and not in heaven. So they're going to break, right?
Right.
So why not create a system in which you can take care of your customer? I mean, that's our whole premise, is being able to, when the car breaks down, to have the money, a mechanism in place set aside so that you can get these people back on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, and making payments, because you and I both know if the car breaks and they don't have the money to fix it, they may just go down the road and leave yours on the side of the road and go down to another Buy Here, Pay Here store.
Yeah, we definitely see the value of reinsurance as a support solution for dealers. And we think it's just part of a long game. If dealers are playing the long game that we recommend, then it just makes sense as a support solution for the customers and keep them happy, keep them on the road. Let's play a couple more videos.
This one is we've Candace Price out of Nebraska, amazing dealer, has
Great
really
story.
been breaking a lot of barriers herself and her business partner. And you're gonna see more of her on the show.
Jim and Michelle, what an amazing day. Congratulations on your 200th episode of the Buy Here, Pay Here Morning Show. You both have been true champions for our industry. Thank you for keeping us all connected and in the know. As a dealer, I appreciate you, and I'm especially grateful for your White Hat Wednesday and you all always highlighting all the good that's being done in the community by dealers and for our customers. Congratulations.
Well, if she just slid just a little bit over to one side, that lamp in the background could have served as a white hat for her. I'll show her that
time.
later. So
she's got a voice for podcasts too.
Really does.
She does. And she's a great
Extremely
storyteller, very
articulate.
articulate.
And if you haven't watched the episode that we did just recently, it was a week or so ago, we talked to her about what it is that she's doing in her community and how she came into Buy Here, Pay Here. And one of the things that she, the goals with her customers is to get them to a point, if they want to, where they can have everything set up to be able to buy a house. And so she's working with them to, how do we help? What do we have to teach? How do we help you to be able to get into the position where you can do something like that? Which is, and it's so very different from a lot of other
something else that we look
dealers
forward to
love it.
having Candace back to talk about, because it's part of our White Hat Way initiative. She talks about something, like she said, we're all familiar with the wealth gap in America. It's just a fact. It's a thing, right? And she says, we like to talk about the knowledge gap, and we like to try to deliver more knowledge, to folks who aren't fortunate enough to possess it. And so that's something that we look forward to driving with White Hat Way, is getting education in the hands of folks who could use it.
Consumer education as well.
Financial literacy, as we know, is a thing. So here's another one.
All right. So this is our friend, Mark Burkholder from Peachtree Planning.
Jim and Michelle, congratulations on your 200th episode of the morning show. You guys are a true blessing to the industry. And by the way, I support the White Hat Way. Have a great day.
That was so kind of him to take.
Nice play, Mark. Nice play.
Yeah, it was kind of him to take a break from his golf.
I know, right?
To a video for us, and I think we missed one, didn't we?
But we have one more.
Okay.
And this one is, Jared from Arizona.
Hey, Jim and Michelle, Jared here in Arizona. Just want to say congratulations on 200 episodes. You guys are great. My best mornings always start with the Buy Here, Pay Here morning show. And Michelle, this message is brought to you by an Android.
Android. There you go. It's part of our thing around here.
It is. Those of you who are new to the show know that we are a split couple, a family.
She's other,
and he's Android. I'm other, and so we get a lot of play, a lot of fun out of that.
For sure,
as well. So,
well, I think for today, Tim, I think one of the things that we look forward to having you. And by the way, I saw in the message thread some congratulatory messages coming in from a guy named Taylor Byrd. He's familiar to you, I know. I see Christy Cashman listed there saying congratulations. So, we know that Taylor is your son, the president of the company, and we've really enjoyed getting to know Taylor and working with him. Just solid people, obviously trying to do good things for the industry, just like we are.
And so also working with Christy.
Yeah, working with Christy's been wonderful. So yeah, it's a fun undertaking, this whole White Hat thing and working together. And I think, what we look forward to, Tim, is just having those conversations that you and I know. We've talked to others in recent days about, just simple stuff like a handshake and looking people in the eye. Like it's stuff that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's a real thing. Like we gotta understand the value of, those kind of things and what it means to, have honor and integrity and be transparent and all those things that we feel like White Hat Way represents. And so please come join the conversation whenever you can, so we can educate more dealers and ultimately consumers. We're going to also move toward educating consumers on this same thing and help them understand, why sometimes there's challenges in a relationship between a buy here, pay here dealer and the customer, and how you overcome those. And we're just going to kind of try to talk to both sides and say, here's how we feel like we can get better. And it goes back to this thing about clarity of purpose. If we both step into a business or relationship with an understanding that this is the purpose and we're united in that purpose, then yes, there will be days that it doesn't feel the same, or there's different work to be done or whatever. But as long as we're all aligned on the grand mission, then we can continue to journey together and expect a more successful outcome.
Absolutely. If the thing is, in today's culture, I mean, being someone who is trying to do the right thing is going to stand out. If you want to be different from the guy down the street, then be a person of integrity, an honorable businessman. That it just makes such a difference in the way that people are going to perceive you.
Sure.
This is not, as you have pointed out many times, this is the long game. If you're in this for the long game, then you're not going to make short-term decisions based on long-term aspirations.
Right.
And the thing is that there is nothing greater than your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in your health,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what I'm saying is that in business, we have to have a good reputation if we're going to stay in business for any length of time. So this is how we differentiate ourselves from the competition. Be better by doing better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we recently did a presentation in Arizona at their conference, and it was around this theme of being known, liked, and trusted, with the heavy emphasis on trust. Like, how do we go about establishing some level of trust with members of our community? And so for us, that we have our answers for what we would recommend, and we look forward to bringing others who have, recommendations for how to go about doing that. But you're right, when we can establish a level of trust, and that goes both ways, by the way, that's just the consumer part of this is important too. We spend a lot of time talking to dealers about what we call the 10-year approach to business, or 10-year approach to a customer, where if there's a setback today, we're really thinking in terms of this customer is going to be with us for 10 years. And so whatever minor setback we're dealing with us today, if we bring that approach to every interaction, then that helps us, build some level of trust. But we also want to start to ask the customer to understand that piece too. Like, think about, what it feels like to do business with this person, and be honorable in the arrangement, and everybody can have a much happier experience. So I think that's the big motivator for me, Tim, is we see a lot of friction between dealers and consumers, and we just see an opportunity to step in there and start to through education first, to help to start to reduce some of that friction and help people focus on longer term success, and earn that trust and mutual respect, and all the things that come along with that. So I think for today we've covered the parts I wanted to cover. I'm thrilled for you taking time on the road to join the broadcast. It was an important announcement, and again, we're so grateful to you and the folks at DealerRE for joining that mission, and special thank you again to Tim Lawrence, who's already stepped out, the folks at LHPH Capital, all the team back there. You folks are wonderful, and we so look forward to working with you in this whole undertaking.
We look forward to it as well. And if you just remember that the White Hat Way is the golden rule. And so let's treat others like we want to be treated. And as the Bible says, to treat people greater than yourself. That's, and so if we follow those guidelines, then we're going to stand out. And I can't wait to see this spread all across the country. Isn't that going to be amazing?
It will.
That's going to be amazing.
It'll be beautiful. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for your support again.
We'll let you go, Mr.
All
Byrd.
right.
Thanks again, and tell the family we said hello.
I will. God bless you. Thank you very much.
You will be seeing in not too long in the future, we'll as we redevelop our White Hat Way website, that the logos of DealerRE and LHPH Capital will be shown on that website as founding sponsors, and that we are getting badges or a logo for them to be able to use on their website, as well as we are founding sponsors of White Hat Way.
Right.
And it's just kind of one of those things that as we start to build this and build the momentum, first steps. Love it. I'm so excited.
So maybe tune in Friday. We're going to talk about this whole thing about stepping from, and we've talked about it a lot. We did our thing in March on enterprise value, but on Friday, we're going to talk more specifically about this thing about stepping from self-employment into business ownership. And a lot of our dealers out there, are in that place where they're struggling to kind of take their business to the next level and sort of start to scale it. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. Join us. We got also, I don't remember the exact date, but we got the folks from TaxMax. We got Bill Nealon coming over to join us and talk about tax refund season and some of those kind of things.
We've got a pretty good lineup. Just working on getting a few more things or people set up for some of the topics that we want to cover over the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Tim, hold on back there backstage so we can say goodbye once we get off of the air. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your support as well.
Grateful.
And have a great Wednesday, and remember to treat your customers with the same kind of respect that you want to be treated with.
See you Friday.
All right. Thanks, guys.